Every morning, at the same small train station, something very unusual happened. A dog was waiting, not for food, not for shelter. He was waiting for someone. People in the town knew this dog very well. He was medium-sized, with brown fur and kind eyes. His ears were always alert, and his tail moved slowly whenever a train arrived. But the strange thing was this: the dog was always there. Every day, every morning, every evening, rain or sun, he never missed a train. When it rained, he waited under the small roof of the station. When it was cold, he sat close to the wooden bench. And when the sun was bright, he stayed near the tracks, looking far away, as if he expected someone to appear at any moment. But who was he waiting for? That was the question everyone asked. One morning, a young man named Daniel arrived at the station. Daniel had just moved to this small town. Everything was new to him: the streets, the people, and the quiet atmosphere of the place. He was traveling to work in the city. As he walked toward the platform, he noticed something: the dog. The dog was sitting very still near the train tracks. His eyes were focused on the distance, waiting, watching. The train was coming. Daniel stood next to the dog and looked down at him. "Hello there," he said softly. The dog moved his tail a little, but his eyes never left the tracks. The train arrived. Doors opened. People got off the train. Others got on. Voices filled the station. But the dog did something very interesting. He stood up quickly. His ears lifted. His tail started moving faster. He walked along the platform, looking carefully at every person who stepped off the train. Left, right, left again. He watched every face, every traveler, every stranger, every passenger, as if he was searching for someone very important. Daniel noticed this and thought, "That's strange." The dog looked at every person carefully, but after a few moments, something changed. The dog stopped. His tail slowed down. Then, slowly, he sat down again. The train doors closed. The train left the station, and the dog stayed there, quiet, still, watching the empty tracks. Daniel felt something strange in his chest. Was the dog disappointed? Was he sad? Was he waiting for someone who never came? Daniel looked around at the people nearby. An old woman was sitting on a bench. She was watching the dog too. Daniel walked toward her. "Excuse me," he said politely. "Why is that dog always here?" The old woman smiled a little, but her eyes looked a little sad. "You're new in this town," she said. Daniel nodded. "Yes, I arrived last week." The woman looked back at the dog. "He has been waiting here for a long time." Daniel frowned. "How long?" The woman paused for a moment. Then she said quietly, "A very long time." Daniel looked at the dog again. The dog was still staring at the train tracks, not moving, not barking, just waiting. But waiting for who and why? What could make a dog return to the same place every day for so long? Daniel didn't know it yet, but the story of that dog was about to change him forever, and that was only the beginning. Daniel decided to come back to the station the next day. He could not stop thinking about the dog. Why does he wait here every day? He asked himself. As he arrived, the dog was already there, sitting in the same spot. His eyes focused on the empty tracks. Daniel approached slowly. "Hello again," he said. The dog looked up briefly, then returned his gaze to the tracks. Daniel sat on the bench near the dog. He wanted to understand. "Does anyone know his story?" he thought aloud. An older man appeared. He was tall, with a kind but tired face. He walked slowly toward the dog, holding a small old photo in his hand. Daniel noticed something strange. The dog suddenly lifted his ears and ran a few steps toward the man. The man stopped. He looked at the dog carefully. His eyes filled with tears. Max, is that you? He whispered. Daniel's heart beat faster. He looked at the man. Excuse me, you know this dog? Daniel asked. The man nodded, his voice shaking. Yes, yes, I know him. This is Max. My dog. My best friend. Daniel was surprised. But he waits here every day. For you. The man sighed deeply. Yes, it has been 5 years. 5 years since I left the town, and since I promised I would come back. But I never could. Until now. Daniel felt a lump in his throat. 5 years? He asked quietly. Yes, the man said. I had to move for work. I thought he would forget me, but Max, he never did. Every day, he comes here to wait for me. The dog, Max, wagged his tail slowly and looked at his owner with soft, gentle eyes. Daniel noticed the man sitting down on the bench, holding the old photo. Max rested his head gently on the man's knee. The dog did not bark. He did not run. He just stayed close, as if saying, I knew you would come back. Daniel could not stop watching. His eyes filled with tears. Why do dogs love like this? He whispered to himself. The man looked at Daniel and smiled faintly. They love without forgetting, without time. Max has been waiting because he remembers everything. Suddenly, another train came to the station. It stopped, but no one left or entered. Only the sound of the doors opening and closing. Max jumped a little, alert, but then looked at his owner. Don't worry, Max, the man said. I will never leave again. Daniel sat quietly, feeling something he had never felt before. He thought about his own life, the people he loved, the promises he had made, and he realized some bonds are stronger than time. The sun began to set, painting the station in golden light. Max rested his head again on his owner's knee. Slowly, Daniel stood up. Can I come back tomorrow? Daniel asked. The man smiled. Of course, he said. You can stay and watch. You will understand why Max waits. Daniel looked at Max one last time. The dog's eyes followed him, calm now, but still full of hope. As Daniel walked home, he could not stop thinking. How could one little dog teach so much about love, patience, and loyalty? And he knew one thing for sure. Tomorrow he would be back. The next morning, Daniel arrived early at the station. The sun was rising. Light reflected on the rails. The air was cool and fresh. Max was already there, sitting, waiting, watching. Daniel walked slowly toward the dog. He wondered what would happen today. Suddenly, the man appeared. The dog ran straight to him. Good morning, Max, he said, smiling. Max jumped a little, wagging his tail so fast it seemed like it could never stop. Daniel noticed the man holding something in his hand. It was the old leash. The leash Max had used 5 years ago. The man knelt down and said softly, I promised I would come back, and I did. You waited so long, my friend. But now you will never wait alone again. Max barked gently. Then something amazing happened. Max ran along the platform, then returned to the man. His eyes sparkled. Daniel could see it clearly now. The love between them was stronger than anything. He asked quietly, Why did you wait here every day? The man looked at Max and said, almost whispering, Because some promises are forever, and some hearts never forget. Daniel felt a tear in his eye. He thought about all the people he loved, all the promises he had made, and he realized how powerful loyalty and hope could be. For Max, every day was a story of waiting, of hope, of love. The day passed slowly. People came and went, trains arrived and left, but Max stayed by his owner's side. He was calm now, happy, safe. Daniel smiled. Maybe one day everyone can love like Max, he whispered. The sun began to set. Orange and pink lights filled the station. Max rested his head on his owner's lap. His eyes closed slowly. Daniel looked around. The world seemed quieter, more peaceful, and he knew one thing. Sometimes love is patient, strong, and silent, waiting for the right moment to shine. Max had waited, and now, finally, his waiting was over, and Daniel would never forget the lesson of the little dog who waited.